Hi, welcome back to Journey into Stories. Today I'm going to start a weekend journey reads and really excited. We took a little road trip to somewhere really special. We actually stayed here on our wedding night almost 30 years ago. At this hotel they hold conventions and they're holding Crypticon, and I'm wearing my Terrifier shirt, and the reason that we decided to come here this weekend is Howard Thornton is here, and some of the cast of Terrifier and some cast members from Star Wars and Police Academy and Friday the 13th and all kinds of stuff. So really excited to get some autographs for the movie room and meet some of the actors. And while I'm here, I started reading on the way down, but I'm reading my Terrifier book. And this, I knew when we were able to get the tickets several months ago that I wanted to do a journey reads and read this book, Terrifier, while I am surrounded by a horror convention and Art the Clown. And fingers crossed, gonna try and get a picture, a selfie with Howard Thornton at the table and an autograph, but hopefully tomorrow he's gonna be dressed as Art the Clown, Santa Claus from Terrifier 3, and hopefully we'll be able to snag a photo op and get that picture with him. So I'll keep you guys posted. Excited to read this book. See you guys in a little bit. So far, loving this book. It starts just like the movie. I hope there's a little difference, even though I love the movie. It's the official movie novelization. I hope it's a little different, but I'm liking it so far.
and we were much younger then. We didn't look a lot different, but we were younger in our bodies. But after work each day, we'd work all day in a hot Ewok costume, and then go to a local school and play basketball, like for a couple of hours. And Tony could shoot the basket from the center line. I mean, he was incredible. And so I spent my teenage years playing basketball with him, and it was a great deal of fun. Thank you for that, Tony.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go around the room. What's your names? Oh. You go. Oh. Well, I'm Smokey.
Howard Thornton, and I play Art.
I'm Samantha Scafidi, and I play Victoria Hayes.
I'm Aubrey McLean, and I play Little Pale Girl.
I'm John Abrahams, and I play Dennis from Ironside Demo. And I also would like to thank Damien for allowing us to all be part of this.
Thank you, Damien.
Yeah. Even though he's not here, he's here in spirit.
Yes.
Because he's busy writing.
The guy went to a lot of trouble to have this tattoo made. And to think that, he's gonna have to go to a lot of trouble to get me off his body. It's just one of those things as an actor, and I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've had a lot of weird experiences, but the idea that somebody actually has tattooed you on them is just,
It's nuts. I don't even want my face on my body for the rest of my life.
Your favorite children? You haven't got one, though.
I mean, my favorite one, I think, just for me, just to make, was part 3. I had more fun with that. I thought more comfortable this time around. We weren't filming in like extremely cold environments this time as much, so that was kind of nice.
Where were you?
Much. It was much. I mean, like we were in a house and it had heat.
What house were you? Oh, that house.
That house, yeah.
Yeah, that one house that we shot only in for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it had heat, so that was nice. It's nice having heat for us. Plus, I was a lot warmer in my Santa outfit too.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
a good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but clearly you guys have and or are making a career out of ideally, specifically horror movies. So why?
Why?
why? We're actors. We're actors.
No one else wants us. Okay.
Horror movies are wonderful, and obviously the fan base is superior. You guys embrace what we do so well, and that makes us feel good. But listen, I think all of us here consider ourselves actors. We would jump into a Western in a heartbeat.
Oh, God, yes.
So it just so happens that, listen, you guys love this genre, and we happen to be people that are recognizable in it. But no, listen, actors, we would all love to play a lawyer. We'd all love to play a doctor. I'd have to play a goofy doctor. But no, anyway, so I don't know. I didn't mean to jump at that question. It's just, I consider myself, this is just one genre, comedy. I mean, listen, a lot of what David did in this Terrifier movie, and the one that I'm really familiar with is 3. It's funny. his activity as a performer is just friggin' funny. And then what Damien did was just layer it with this friggin' grotesque, bloody, insane friggin' thing. That's what Damien's vision was. But from a standpoint of humor, I mean, frig, I probably laughed when I saw it in New York. I probably laughed a dozen times just on his behavior alone. So I call that comedic.
Yeah, that is my background is comedy.
Yeah.
That's all. Terrifier was the first thing I ever did with horror, and I never thought this would be what I would be doing a lot with my life. I always wanted to do like sitcoms and stuff like that, or voiceover work. I used to do a lot of voiceover work for animated children's shows. It was like, yeah, if you ever watched the second season of Super Wings, that used to be on the Sprout Network, I was basically all the animals that whole entire season. They would just call me up, David, we need a goat and a llama and an ostrich for this episode. I'm like, okay, I'll be there, do whatever you want me to do. So I'm just, I'm like, here's money. I'm like, great.
Ironic, you were doing voiceover work, now you don't talk.
I know that's the real irony of all this is I'm known for being silent, but like my whole entire life, that's what I really wanted to do is voiceover work. And I do over 200 voices and about 25 different dialects, and I'm just known for being silent.
How did you feel to beat the Joker at the box office?
That was wild. That was unexpected.
We kicked a studio movie's ass.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. That was holy crap.
When was the moment you realized that, and what were you thinking?
I think it's when I finally, because I think a lot of other people are like, oh, we're gonna be Joker. I'm like, no, that's not, no. There's no way on earth we're gonna be Joker this weekend. And they're like, no. So I didn't believe it until I finally saw the final numbers, and I was still like, no.
This newspaper.
Yeah, especially since the first one made like over $1 billion. It was a record breaker.
Because that one was good.
Yeah.
Do you think that's ruined your
Steady.
I would hope not. I mean, I because I would hope that would have no impact at all on me playing the character one day. You know, of course that is my dream role. So I'm like, because I did the I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a short film called Joker's Wild, and that was just out of the blue. We just wanted to just do this, and we're like, let's just shoot this little thing and see if anything comes up from it. It's kind of like what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool. He shot a little short because he wanted to play the character, do it right after X-Men Origins or Wolverine Origins, whatever that was. And we're like, well, let's take that same approach and just show people what we can do with this character, or like something we can play around with. And so, I'm hoping maybe one of these days Mr. Gunn will take notice and be like, hey, let's give this guy a shot. So I'm cheaper than Skarsgård, so.
I think we'll do one last one, then we're gonna get to the photo box.
This is for Clint Howard. So when you're young, playing Mark Whitlow and Gentle Giant, did you at that point think that you were going to play Ice Cream Man and eventually into Terrifier 3?
Oh yeah, I knew. My middle name is Nostradamus. So listen, my childhood, I didn't know 2 weeks before I started working on Gentle Giant that I was going to be working with a bear. As the world turns, as actors, you just don't know. You just don't know. You're sitting at your house, and things have changed a little bit in the 21st century. But you're sitting in your house, you're waiting for the phone to ring. The phone doesn't ring, and then it rings, and you're off on some adventure. You're off to frigging Budapest, or you're off to Croatia, and it's just a phone call away. So that's one thing as actors. I mean, as a little kid, I had no idea. But as actors, we all need to stay prepared, because that phone can ring. We're a little bit like firemen. All of a sudden, out of the blue, a project comes up, and we're doing something completely different somewhere completely different. So that's, it's one thing I've learned over the years, and I learned it from my mom and dad, is you got to stay prepared.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Thank you all.
Hi guys, finished this book this weekend. Today's Sunday, and somebody could easily sit and read it in one sitting. Even though it's almost 400 pages, it goes so very fast. Loved the book. It was no surprise. I actually heard about it from somebody and bought it off of Amazon a couple of months ago. But last time I was at Barnes & Noble in the horror section, they actually sold it at Barnes & Noble. Loved this book, 5 stars. Loved the movie, of course, and the movie franchise. Loved reading a lot of it here at the Crypticon, surrounded by the different actors that were in the movie. That was a lot of fun. Also, I spent time at night reading it to make sure I got it done this weekend. Like I said, 5 stars, and when I read a book, I see it playing in my head like a movie, and this was no exception. I saw the movie playing while I read it. So I'm not going to give anything away because this is the second movie in the franchise. There are some differences. There's a lot more detail in the book of scenes and characters that weren't in the movie, so I'm glad it had a little difference than what was in the movie, but I loved every minute of it. I loved reading it at Crypticon. I've been excited for this for like 5 months. Loved getting my picture taken with Art the Clown in costume, David Howard Thornton, and this was a lot of fun to read. So if you're into horror movies or horror books, this is definitely one I would put on your radar. Terrifier 2, it was wonderful. So with that, I hope you guys are doing wonderful, and I hope you're taking care of yourself and one another. Until the next video, guys, bye. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.